projects, they can actually share to me. Okay, and then we can actually discuss about those kind of projects. So today we are going to discuss about flight price prediction or flight fare prediction, and then this particular data set is available in the Kaggle. The Kaggle link is also given in the description of this particular video. If not, I will just be updating it. I think the Kaggle link is not available over there. Let me just update it, guys. The dataset link in the description of this particular video. If you will not be able to see it, just reload the page. I have actually updated it. Okay, so just give me a minute. I will just give me 10 seconds. I will just update it. Okay, everyone, because there you have both train and test data set. So probably we will try to update it. Okay, so go and check in my description of this particular video. The dataset link is also given. Okay, now flight fare. Oh, sorry. So I will just change the title also. Okay, thank you for suggesting, guys. There was a mistake. Thank you. You all are my guru. So spelling mistake in title, right? So I have given the Kaggle link. I've changed the title as per your side. I have done everything. And then I have also added this particular video in my live stream playlist. If you really want to go after this particular live session, you can go from there itself. Okay. Now, I hope, can I get a quick yes if everything is working, the GitHub link is working, the dataset is working? Yes, Suleiman Arbri, this video will get recorded. So guys, everything is working. Can I get a quick yes? GitHub should be working. The dataset should be working. All the URLs is actually given over there. Okay, in the description. Are you able to use it? Can I get a quick yes? Can I get a like button? Something like that, so that I come to know. I'll be waiting for 10 seconds. Aditya Pandey, just reload your page. You'll be able to see the link, updated link. Just reload your page once, guys. If you are not able to see the link, just reload it once. Okay. Perfect, guys. Now, first of all, before beginning this particular project is also implemented in my members channel, which I implemented specifically for members, the flight fare prediction. And now the shout out who has actually developed this front end, or the guidance he has actually taken from, is basically Amar Mandal. Okay, so Amar Mandal, you can see over here the project flight fare prediction, and he has actually created the website, the source code, dataset, everything is mentioned over here. Credits he has given to me and Sudhanshu Kumar from iNeuron. So we have actually helped him, or we have actually guided him to basically implement this particular project. So the credit is given over here. So we are going to discuss about this particular project, and the entire credit goes to Amar Mandal for sharing his project to the data science community. So thank you, Amar. I hope everybody can say thank you to him. Because of him, we are able to see this particular project in a much more proper way in the GitHub. And now we will actually discuss about this. Okay, can I get a quick like or hit for Amar itself in this particular chat, guys? It will be very, very good. We need guys like Amar and other people, and there are many people who have shared their projects, which we are going to discuss daily in our live sessions. So can I get a quick yes, guys, if you are like following till here? Okay, now we will go towards understanding this particular project. Okay, shout out for Amar. Yes, amazing. Okay, guys, if you really want to share something interesting that you have, not a simple project, somewhat complicated, if you want to really share, you can definitely ping the GitHub link along with the browser URL, everything in my email ID. Okay, krishnaik06@gmail.com. Why there are 7 dislikes? I am not sure, guys, why there are 7 dislikes. I really want to understand why there are 7 dislikes. If someone could actually explain me, it would be great. So I could have taken that particular feedback. Okay, guys, now let's go ahead and start it, and try to discuss about the complete problem statement. Okay, so the problem statement is, let's go and read the task. Okay, so over here the problem statement basically is that in your data set, what you have is that you have informations like airline, date of journey, source, destination, route. Okay, route is there, departure time is there, arrival time is there, duration is there, total stops is there, additional info is there. Okay, and then there is a price. Now based on all these particular features, we are actually going to predict price. Okay, so we are going to predict the price based on all these particular features, but still the major problem is that we have to do a lot of feature engineering over here. We have to do the data pre-processing a lot, because understand over here you have source Bangalore, Kolkata, Delhi, something like this. All these values are category values. You have date of journey. Date of journey basically is having day, and it depends on type of seasons. It depends on type of festivals. Like if you are going near Diwali, or if you are going towards the Dussehra side to some places, like to Kolkata, at that time the price is very, very high, right? Then apart from that, you can also see that there is something called as departure time, arrival time, duration, total stops. Okay, departure time and arrival time can also play a very, very important role, right? So here you have so many features. Now with considering this particular features, we will see what all we can actually do with respect to this particular data. So let's go ahead and try to explore each and everything. And first of all, guys, go to this particular data set and download the train and the test data set. Everyone, I want you all to please download the train and the test data set. The link of the Kaggle, the data set, is given in the description of this particular video. Can I get a quick yes if you are able to do it? Please do. I'll give you 10 seconds time. Please do download the data set and just hit here or give a thumbs up so that I get to know that you have actually downloaded the data set. Please go ahead and download the data set, guys, both training and test data set. Okay, we will be discussing about app.py also. Don't worry about it. Okay. Okay, once you are downloading the dataset, what you do is that go into this GitHub, extract this whole file, extract this whole zip, extract that file, put that file over here, copy and paste that file over here, right? So if I just go and see that particular location, you will be able to see that I have both data/train, I have both data.test_set. So I have both these particular files pasted over here. Okay. Amazing. So we have actually done till here. Okay. So just download everything, guys, and then we will actually start. Okay, guys, after the live session, if somebody wants to refer all this particular video, there is a playlist which is called as live stream playlist. Go over there, and in your settings you have 2x speed. You try to use that 2x speed so that you will be able to revise each and everything that I've actually explained. Okay. Okay, Sumit Dalmia says slow down please, it's taking time. It's okay. I'll give you 2 minutes, Sumit. Please download it as quick as possible. Okay, guys, we'll give Sumit 2 minutes time, and let's start at 7:41. Okay, 7:41 p.m. IST. Okay, I'll start the explanation. Okay. Till then, you can explore what all we are going to discuss about it, because today this is a very, very interesting project. Because in my membership also I have explained about feature engineering or feature pre-processing very, very nicely. And similar way, he has actually what the best thing he has actually done is that he has taken all the explanation I've given in different videos, has combined it, and he has made a wonderful project. Okay, so we'll be discussing about that. Okay. Okay, guys, let's start. It's 7:41 p.m. IST. I hope we can start, Sumit. Okay, so I'm just going to start, guys. Now, first of all, we are going to import NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn. These are some of the libraries. Matplotlib and Seaborn will actually help us to see some of the visualization stuff with respect to the data. And then we will be using NumPy Pandas to basically read the data set, to do some kind of pre-processing, convert into an arrays, and all do those kind of stuff. Okay. Now, first of all, you remember, guys, the data is in the form of a Excel sheet. Okay. Now, Since data is in the form of Excel file, we have to use pandas read underscore Excel to load the data set. Okay. So for reading the Excel file, you have to use read underscore Excel. And remember, if in that particular Excel file, you have multiple sheets, at that time in the second parameter, you have to provide your sheet name. Okay. So please remember, make sure that you remember all these things. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to read the Excel file and I'm going to use datatrain.xls. And after this, if I press shift tab, you can see over here, if I press shift tab, you can also give the sheet name, whatever sheet name you basically have. Now, what do I mean by sheet name, guys? Just see over here. If I open datatrain.xls, right? If I open datatrain.xls, right? So it will probably take time because this is a huge file. Now, this is basically my data XLS. Now, here you can see that this is an Excel file, and here you have a sheet name called sheet 1, right? So we have to actually give the sheet 1. If you have multiple sheets, at that time you specify just the sheet name which you are actually interested in with respect to this particular data set. Okay. Now, once we are done that, I'm just going to close one data because I don't require it. Okay, let's read the data. So I'm going to read the data set. So I have all my training data over here. Okay. Yes, guys, you can also run it in Google Colab, but make sure that you put your data set in Google Drive. Okay, you put your data set in Google Drive. Okay, now what I'm going to do is that I'm basically setting the option as display.max underscore columns. Okay, display.max underscore columns is basically put up over here, right? Okay, display.max underscore columns is put up over here, guys. I hope everybody is able to follow over here. This is basically to display all the columns that is present in the data set. So I'm going to execute this also. I'm going to see the head data. Okay, so this is basically my head data, all the top 5 records. Okay, so I hope everybody is done till here. Just give me a quick yes so that we will continue. Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes time. Just tell me, guys. I know many people are stuck. It may be due to some or the other thing, but please just let me know once you are able to do this. Okay. Can I get a quick yes from everyone? So I'll continue. Yes. Okay. This is pretty much simple, guys. We have just read the data set. Okay, I'll give you 1 more minute, guys. Come on, do it. Okay, many people are saying they are downloading. Okay, just do it. I'll give you 1 more minute. Otherwise, many people will just be waiting. Okay, let's just wait for another 1 minute. Till then, guys, what I have done is that I have also updated the LinkedIn ID of Amar Mandal. You can probably, ping him and thank him with respect to this particular project. So I've just pinged his LinkedIn URL in the description of this particular video. Okay. Okay, this is basically to display all the columns, guys. Okay, this is basically to display all the columns. We can set that particular option in our data frame. Okay, Amit Rawat, I think this is a very, very simple question. Sir, why do we use GitHub to store the code? It is just like a repository. Okay, so are you using Django or Flask? This is basically Flask, guys. Okay. Okay, now fine. Let's go to the next step. We are basically going to see the train data.head, and this is basically our train data.head. You can also use .info to see what kind of data type it has. It has basically object data type. Object data type basically means, string. Okay, so these are basically string. Airline is string, date of journey is string, source is string. Okay, destination is string, route is string, departure time is string, arrival time is string, and then you have total stops, additional info, price is only the integer value, right? So price is basically my dependent feature. All the other features are basically my independent features. Sorry, price is the dependent features. Okay. Now, once we have done this, now let's go and explore each and every columns. Okay, what all each and every columns basically specify. Okay, now going with respect to duration, first of all, okay, we are going to check this duration. Now, what is this duration over here, guys? Understand, duration over here is like 2 hours 50 minutes, and this is not how the model will be able to understand. Okay. Yes, similarly, you after the live session also you'll get this video. There will be a playlist which is called as live streaming playlist. Okay. So guys, first of all, don't worry about the missing values right now. We will check it out. We'll check everything, missing values, everything we'll do. Okay. Now, first of all, you can see that the duration columns has something like 2 hours, 50 minutes, 7 hours, 25 minutes, 19 hours. Guys, this kind of information the model will not be able to understand, because this is in string format and it will not say that, okay, it takes 2 hours, 50 minutes. So first of all, we'll try to pre-process this. Okay. That is where we are actually checking this out. So first of all, we are going to see that the training data duration of value counts, how many unique values are there, and this time you can see that 2 hours 50 minutes is having basically 550 records are having these values, 1 hour 30 minutes 386 records are having these values, 337 records are having these values, 337 records are having these values. So like this, all these particular values are there. Okay. So I hope everybody has been able to understand. We are doing some kind of analysis, guys. Now coming to the null values. Okay, there are some NaN values over here, and definitely for this particular information, I have a huge data set. Let's see. Okay, how much training data I actually have. Okay, so I am saying that train data dot shape. So I am basically having 10,000 records. So what we are doing is that whatever NaN values is there, we are just replacing it, or we are just dropping it. So dropping the NaN values is basically done by this particular code. Okay, by this particular code. So once we are able to drop the NaN values, then we'll be able to do the further process. So wherever the NaN values are there, I'm just going to drop it. Let's see after the NaN values dropping, what is the shape of the data. So the shape is almost same because there is no NaN values as such. Okay. There is no NaN values as such, guys. So whatever we have executed, it has got executed successfully. So again, if I want to see the value counts, it will be almost same. Can I get a quick yes if you have understood till line 75? Ritvik, tomorrow's project will be movie recommendation system. Okay. Okay, can I get a quick yes if you are able to understand till here, guys? Can I get a quick yes if you have understood till here, everyone? Just let me know. Then we'll continue these things. I hope everybody has understood till here. Dropping the NaN values. Yes, perfect. Let's go ahead. Okay, guys. Just a second. We will start. Till then, you can actually complete these things. Okay, perfect. Can we use this project in your resume? Yes, if you are working in an airline industry domain, you can definitely use. If you are working in traveling domain, you can basically use. If you are working for service-based company, if one of your client is a traveling airline company, you can actually add it. Okay. Now, guys, the next step is basically we are going to check whether the null value is, we are just checking is null as sum. So here we are getting all the values as 0. Okay. Okay. Now we go with the exploratory data analysis. He has beautifully structured the IPYNB file, guys. So you can actually check it out in an amazing way. He has actually done it. Okay. So here you can see that let's go and first of all see what all exploratory data analysis we have to do. Now guys, remember we have columns like date of journey. In date of journey, this is in the form of string format. We probably have to take the day and the month value. This will be very, very important for us. Similarly with respect to the arrival time, you can see that we are having like hours, this, and seconds, right? And then we are basically having these values like March or something like June, something like this, right? So we have to clean this kind of data. And then you'll also be able to see the departure time, right? The departure time is also basically in string format. So what we need to do is that we need to take out the hours and the minutes separately. Okay, so this hours and minutes needs to also be taken separately. So there are a lot of pre-processing steps that we are going to do. One by one we'll do, and one by one we'll actually see. So let's begin with the EDA part. So first of all, the journey day. I need to find out the journey day, on which day basically the person has actually traveled or he has actually gone into that particular flight. So I'm just going to use the train data.date of journey. First of all, I'm just going to convert this into date time. For converting into date time, I basically have to use pd.to_date time and just give this. The format is actually given over here. The format is given in the form of day, month, and year. So if you have actually worked in date time data, guys, we basically use to_date time. Okay. Then I'm going to take the day from here. So I'm using .dt.day. So here in this particular feature, that is journey_day, I'm actually going to get all my day data. Okay, so I'm going to get my day data. So once I execute this, guys, this has got executed successfully. Similarly, by using the same feature, I'm also going to get the month, because day and month both are required. Okay, so for that, again, same step I'll be doing, but here in the last, instead of day, I will be taking dt.month. And then I will be creating a new feature which is called as journey_month. Okay, so from the date of journey, I have actually took out my journey day and journey month. Okay, so that is pretty much required, because understand model will be able to understand these values. It will not be able to understand string values, right? And so from the date, we have first of all converted into date time, and then we have actually got the day and month. Then once I will go over here and see train data.head, you will be able to see all the values, and at last you will be able to see two features, that is journey day and journey month. Okay, so guys, till here, if everything is clear, can you give me a quick yes so that I continue? Let's go like this in an online session, like how we explain. Similarly, in that specific way, we'll try to explain you so that you can actually implement. Can I get a quick yes? Hit the like button, something, give some indication so that I come to know that you have implemented this and you have done this. So date of journey in inverted commas. What do you mean by inverted commas? Okay, that way also you can do, this way also you can actually do. Okay, fine. Many people are saying yes, so I'll continue, guys. Those who have not understood, understand that what we are doing, whatever feature we have, date of journey, this is in the string format. But for us, for our model, the most important thing will be basically the date and the month. I have to provide these two values so that we'll be able to create our models. Okay, now the next sentence, the next thing that we are going to do basically is, guys, now we have got our journey day, journey month, and then you can also see in the head section I have these values. Now similarly, I will go to my date of journey. Now you will be able to see over here date of journey. Sorry, if I go down, now my date of journey will not be required, because from this date of journey I have got this information. Guys, the year, I think the data is only for this year. So we are probably just considering 1 year data, I guess. Okay, in this, if you really want to take year, you can also take that, okay, as a separate field. But I think there is only 1 year data in this. So based on that, we are actually going to do the prediction. Okay, now this is done. Okay, this is done. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to drop this date of journey, because now we don't require date of journey. Okay, date of journey is not required. Now we have actually taken the date and the month from there. So date of journey is basically not required. So just execute it. So just execute this particular statement, guys. And then we are basically going to use date of journey over here. Okay. Date of journey is after date of arrival. Don't worry, we'll see that whether that particular condition is being handled or not. If it is not handled, probably we need to take care of that as we go ahead. Okay. Now once we have dropped the date of journey, remember the steps, guys. First, from the date of journey, and this is done for the training data set, because for the test data sets, same steps needs to be done. Okay. All the same steps needs to be done when we are actually working with the new data set itself, with the test data set. Okay, we also have to actually do this. Okay, now what we are going to do is that, yes guys, you can also take weekdays, right? In weekdays, basically in weekends the price will be more. In weekdays you can do that. That is some additional points. Just understand, you have one system, how you can improve it, that is up to you. Okay, you basically do more things as such and you will be able to update it. Now after dropping date of journey, guys, here now what I've done is that from the departure time I have taken the hour and the minute. How? The departure time is basically converted into date of time, and from that I'm taken the hour and minute. Same steps whatever we did, and then we are also dropping the departure time because we no longer require that. Axis is equal to 1 basically means columns, guys. Column wise. Okay. See here you're dropping date of journey, right? Date of journey is actually a column. So it is actually a column. So you have to specify axis is equal to 1. So axis is equal to 1, it will check all the column names. Whichever column name will match, it will just drop. Okay. So guys, this simple question, please someone answers, because I will not be able to cover everything. You know, there are many people asking very smaller questions. I think guys, you should know this basics. You should try to cover it. But anyhow, if you don't know, please someone help them. You know, when they are asking this kind of questions, I will not be able to take up. I'll just be taking up very important and suggestions questions, but definitely I'm looking at your comments. If you think that someone is missing something, please do answer them. Okay. Now, fine. Next step, we are going to execute this, guys. What we have done is that we have got our hour, minute, and then we are basically dropping the departure time. Now remember, guys, departure time was initially like this, right? From this, we are getting hours and we are actually getting minutes. Okay. So let's execute this statement. And now I have actually got two additional column. One is department hours and one is department underscore minute. So let's see the head part. So once I go and see the head part, you will be able to see this. And here you have the data, department underscore hour, department underscore minutes. So you have 22, you have 20, you have 5, and you have 50, you have 9, you have 25. So this basically indicates the minutes, and here basically indicates the hours. Okay. So I hope everybody is done till here. Very simple, very clear. Okay. Now he has given also some information about the arrival time. Arrival time is when the plane pull ups to the gate. Similar to date of journey, we can extract values from the arrival times. Okay. So arrival time is a separate column over there, but from date of journey also we can come up with an arrival time. Okay. So one thing that you will be noticing also over here, guys, see over here, if I go to the date of journey, okay, date of journey, okay, let's see this particular column. I think in this column we will be having. Now here the arrival time can also be explored, this information can be taken from the departure, from the date of journey, right? From this it can be taken, but I think it is not there. Let's see from where he's actually taken. Okay, he is basically taking it from the arrival time only, but it can also be extracted from the date of journey. But remember, guys, date of journey over there, the time was not given. Okay, if you really want, if the time was given over there, then we can basically extract that information also. So from the arrival time, we are getting the hours, and again from the minutes. Okay, what is PD2? Actually, this will actually convert this feature, that is arrival time, which is a string value, into a date time column. Okay. And then we are actually taking the hours and the minute values. And once we take this hours and the minute values, what we are going to do is that we are going to drop the arrival time. And now I have two more additional features, that is basically arrival underscore hour, arrival underscore minutes. And you know, we are taking up this particular features and we are basically considering this as our new features, which after executing this line, I will be able to see it. So I have executed this in this particular line. What I have done, I've just created 2 more additional features, that is arrival underscore hour, arrival underscore min, from the feature arrival time, where I've taken the hour value, and from the arrival time I've taken the minutes value. But before that, I have actually converted into pd.datetime. Now if I go and see my train data.head, I will be able to see my 2 new features, that is arrival hour and arrival minute. Can I get a quick yes or hit the like button if you have understood till here, guys? Please do say yes. I'll just wait for another 1 or 2 minutes. I'll just stay for 1 or 2 minutes. Till then, can you just give me a quick yes if you have understood it? Yes. सब समझ में आ गया? इन हिंदी बोल रहा हूं भाई. Random guy, sir, do you use AutoML? I'm not using AutoML, guys, over here. I really want to teach each and everything, and in my real world scenario also I don't use it. I try to do it by my own. Because I need to understand those domains, so I want to create my work. I want to do everything from my side, I don't depend on automation libraries as such. It is just for understanding. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to move towards the next step. So I have my data set and everything is available over here. I have dropped all the unimportant features. Similarly, let's me go down. Now, time taken by plane to reach destination is called duration. Okay, so here you can see that this duration that you see, right? Duration is basically the number of hours taken to reach that particular destination. Suppose I'm going from Bangalore to Delhi. It is taking somewhere around 2 hours 50 minutes. Okay, so probably what we are going to do over here is that, and it also says that it is a difference between departure time and the arrival time. Okay, so I have taken all the duration in one list. Okay, I have taken all the duration in one list, and then I have been iterating through all the duration. Okay, I have been iterating through all the duration, and see, guys, remember in duration I have 2 hours and 50 minutes. So I also have to split this and basically extract the hours and the minutes separately, like how I did it for the arrival time also, right? So for that, I'm going to do this kind of pre-processing. So here I'm doing some kind of pre-processing where I'm iterating through each and every duration records, and then I'm basically saying that check if the duration contain only hours or minutes. Okay, so basically we check by finding the length. If the length is just 2 hours or 19 hours, right? The length of this is basically 2, right? So if it is not equal to 2, that basically means, and then after that we are considering that if h is in duration I, right? If h symbol is there over here, then we are basically splitting or stripping in that particular way and adding 0 minutes. Okay, there else what we are doing is that we are taking 0 hours and we are taking the duration of I. Okay, we are just taking the minutes over there. So add 0 minutes, add 0 hours. So in this particular scenario, we are just doing it. I'd like to suggest you just go with this. This is a simple extraction code that has been written. Otherwise, how arrival time has actually been done, you can also do in this specific way. Okay, but you won't be able to do it exactly like this because you have hours and minutes. So for that, you have actually written this custom code where you are actually exploring it, So just try to understand each and every line of code. Okay, just try to understand each and every line of code. Okay, so here what I'm doing, I've got all the records of the duration in this particular field. Then I'm iterating to each and every duration. Then I've taken, after iterating, guys, after iterating, I'm splitting it. And after splitting it, I'm seeing that what is the length of that. If the length is not equal to 2, then I'm putting a condition. If h symbol is there, then I'm basically adding 0 minutes. Else, I'm adding 0 hours. Okay. So I hope everybody is clear till here. And then I'm appending it back to my duration hours. Guys, understand this for loop is very simple, right? So here I have all my duration values. I am iterating through each and every duration values. Then I am taking each and every record, I'm splitting it. If you split this, what will happen? Let me just execute it like this to you. If you split this, what will happen? If you split this, what will happen? You'll get values like this, right? Right? Then if I try to find out the length, what will be the length of this? Length of this, what it will be? It will basically be 2, right? Come on guys, this is our simple for loop. You need to explore it. I really want you all to explore it. If I say everything, it will be very difficult. Okay, the length of this is basically 2. Now here I put a condition, if length, if this length is not equal to 2, right now it is equal to 2, right? Then it will go to the else block, right? In the else block, what it is going to do, guys, it is basically going to take up this particular whole value, right? It is going to take up this particular value and add 0 hours in the front. Okay. So I hope everybody has understood this. Just explore it, guys. Just explore it. You will be able to see it. Okay. So can I get a quick yes if you have understood till here? Shall I move ahead? Everyone? Can I move ahead, guys? So this will basically do all your pre-processing steps with respect to the duration. At the end of the day, you will be able to create 2 new features. One is duration hours and duration minutes, where you are putting all the list of duration hours and then you are actually putting the duration minutes. So I have executed this. If I go and see my train data.head, you will be able to see all these particular values again. So I have my duration hours and duration minutes. Can I get a quick yes, everyone? Come on, understand, guys. The main thing is that you need to understand these things. It will be amazing when you will be able to understand all these things. Yeah. Perfect. Amazing. Now we have got our duration hours. Everything is there. Now, if I go and see my head, now what are the things that are remaining that we need to focus on? One is airlines. Okay. This is basically my category features. One is source. One is destination. One is route. Remaining all like duration, total non-stop, additional info. If I take out duration, this has been fixed, right? We have converted that into hours and minutes. The total stops, probably we'll see how we can actually handle this total stops. Okay. So let's go ahead and try to see how we are going to do this as we go ahead. Okay. Now, first of all, after this particular step, guys, already duration hour has been calculated, duration minute has been calculated. So I'm going to drop this duration column. So again, for dropping it, I'm basically used train underscore data dot drop duration comma axis is equal to 1 in place is equal to true. Okay. So my duration column has got removed. You can see that there is no duration column. Okay. There is no duration column over here. It has got removed. Okay. Okay. Now I'll go to the next line, guys. That is basically handling categorical data. Now we just have categorical data in most of our features. We will basically try to handle those things, right? We will try to handle those things. Now let's go ahead and try to see it, guys. So what we are going to do is that always remember in my feature engineering playlist also I have discussed about this, guys. Categorical data are basically of 2 types. One is nominal data, one is ordinal data. Data are not in any order in nominal data. So at that particular case, we should do one hot encoding. If there is ordinal data where the data are in order, we have to actually perform label encoding. So basically, if there is something like a ranking, if there is something like which is the best thing like that. So something at that particular point of time, we'll be using label encoding, where we'll be assigning labels like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if the data is not in order, nothing is greater than other thing. Like the best example is state column. If I take, right, at that time I can basically use one hot encoding, right? So let's go ahead. Okay guys, now what I'm going to do is that first of all, I'm going to see this airline column over here is basically a category feature. And here you cannot say that Indigo is greater than Air India, or Jet Airways is greater than Air India, or Indigo is greater than something like that. You cannot say that. So for this particular case, what I'm going to do is that probably I'll try to do nominal data. That is, I'll try to do one hot encoding. Okay. But yes, if you see that, if you have some more international flights, suppose that international flight price is very, very high. Okay. Very, very high, because they provide some very good facilities. At that time, you can basically do it as ordinal encoding. Okay, you can basically use label encoder, because if there is flights like Lufthansa, which takes a lot of money, where there is a business class, where there in that particular flight only business class is there, suppose. Okay, if you're taking this particular example, so at that time usually the price is going to be very, very high. So at that particular situation, you can actually use label encoding. Okay. So now I have my train data airline dot value underscore counts. I'm just finding that how many unique values are there. So Jet Airways is having somewhere around 3849, Indigo 2053, Air India 17151, and all these particular values. Always remember guys, now Jet Airways probably is not there. So probably this data may not work. What you can do is that you can also drop Jet Airways column, because now you don't have to do the prediction with respect to Jet Airways. Okay, so that is one pointer that I really want to give. Is everyone clear till here, guys? Manoj Gupta, every code is given in the Jupyter notebook file. Just download it from the GitHub that is given in the description of this particular video, right? Okay. So can I get a quick yes if everybody has followed till here? Should I continue, guys? Don't drop right now, guys. We will continue like this. But yes, if you want to make some changes, you can drop Jet Airways also. You can, because those features are not required anymore, right? See, in everything you require some amount of domain knowledge. Then automatically different ideas will come up. You know. Someone will say that, sir, in weekends the cost will be more. Someone will say that, sir, at night the cost will be less. So all these are some additional derived feature based on the time. You know, you can basically say that after 7 o'clock, those are basically night time. You can derive that after 7 hours, after 7 p.m. You can convert that and create a derived feature and basically label it as night. Okay, so there are a lot of things that you can actually do. And probably in companies when you are actually working, with all these scenarios you will actually come up with. You know, so that will be pretty much amazing. You know, you will be able to learn a whole lot of things. Now guys, the next step that we are going to do is that from the graph, we can see that Jet Airways business have the highest price. Okay. So here you can see that Jet Airways business have the highest price. How it is saying, we are basically use something called as cat plot. Okay. So this cat plot is basically in Seaborn. So that is the reason why we have used. What is this cat plot? If you want to see, press shift tab after cat plot. And here you'll be able to see some description. Figure level interface of drawing categorical plots on a facet grid, right? So these are with respect to category variables. And how we are actually doing, in the y-axis we have actually taken price, and in the x-axis we have actually taken airline. So with respect to the airline, which is having the highest price, and then we are also sorting the data based on price, where ascending is equal to false. And here we are given the height parameter as 6 and expect as 3, so that our diagram looks pretty much better. Finally, we do this cat plot is basically, just go over here and press shift tab, guys. This will give you all the information. I also have not used any time as such, but here we have seen some amazing diagrams. It shows figure level interface for drawing categorical plots onto a facet grid. That is what it basically explains, right? Now you can see that based on this particular diagram, let me just zoom in. Okay. Zoom out. Okay. So here you can see that based on the price, this y-axis value is basically the price, guys, right? Or let me just see, the diagram is not looking that good. Can I open the diagram in new tab? Now here you can see that this is basically the y-axis is basically the price value, right? The x-axis is basically the airlines. So the first airline over here is Jet Airways, right? Then you have Jet Airways Business, Jet Airways. Then you have multi-carrier, something like that. Okay. So all this particular information is there over here. Okay. I hope everybody is able to see that. Now when you have this here, you can definitely see that the highest value of Jet Airways is from Jet Airways Business. Remaining all the price are almost same, right? Remaining all the price are almost same, right? Remaining all the points are almost same over here, right? Only this is just like a kind of outlier, and probably this is having the highest price. Okay. Now the next step is pretty much important, guys. I'll just execute this line so that you'll be able to see this. Okay. Now the next step is pretty much important, where it says that as airline is nominal categorical data, will perform one hot encoding, because as you know that we cannot say that Indigo is greater than Jet Airways or Jet Airways is better than AirAsia or Indigo or SpiceJet, something like that. All are equal. You know, they are providing services, all have business class. I think Indigo does not have that much business class, but with respect to other flights, there is also like Vistara, you know, so all those particular information is there. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm basically going to take this airline data, I'm going to apply get dummies, and then I'm using drop underscore first is equal to true. And if you remember in my previous videos, guys, why we used this drop underscore first is equal to true, to basically after converting that into dummies, we drop that first column. Okay. So that we don't require it. So once we do this, no need to drop Jet Business, guys. But yes, you can try it after we complete this particular project. Let's see what all things he has actually done, and after that we can add up any number of points that you want. Okay, guys, this get dummies is just one hot encoding technique. Again, I have explained you how does this particular thing work. Otherwise, just go and see one of my YouTube videos. There I have explained it very much clearly. Can I get a quick yes, everyone? If you have understood till here. See, I'm explaining you line by line, guys. So please make sure that you understand all these things. Okay. Can we avoid one hot encoding using target mean encoding? You don't require target mean encoding, guys, because understand here cardinality is very, very less. You just have this many airlines, right? Why you want to go into that thing? Just use one hot encoding. That is simple. Can you hit the like button, guys? Can you hit the like button if my explanation is good? Whether I am able to make you all understand. Okay, guys. So the next step, after this, you will be able to see that we will get like this kind of output. Wherever the value will be airline, that value will be 1. Otherwise, it will be zeros. Okay. In whichever record that value is actually there. Suppose over here Go Air is present, or if Indigo is present, you can see that in the first record Indigo was there. Can we see that first record? Let's see. In the first record we have Indigo. So the airline value is having 1. Right? Remaining all the values are 0. Right? Deepak Agarwal drop underscore first is basically you're dropping one of the feature that is not required. Because understand, if you have 5 features, if you do one hot encoding, it will actually create 5 features. From that, one feature can be removed, and then remaining 4 features will actually represent the 5 feature. Okay. Just check it out. I have also created videos regarding that. Please check it out, guys. If you are very much new, if you have learned from somewhere, I think that should be covered up, or just check my YouTube videos. Okay. Okay. Now this is done, guys. Now after this is done, what we will do is that in the next step, okay, after this airline is done, then we will try to find out the source. For the source also, it is a category feature. See, guys, source also it has places name like Bangalore, Kolkata, Delhi, all these particular values, right? So we'll try to find out how many unique values are there in the source. In source, you can see that Delhi, they are having like somewhere around 4536 records are having Delhi, 2871 records are having Kolkata, 2197 records are having Bangalore, 697 records are having Mumbai, and 381 records are having Chennai. Okay. Okay. Now, similarly, whatever we did for this particular feature, that was our airlines, we will do the same type of plotting for our source with respect to the price. This will indicate that if a person is traveling to Bangalore, whether the price is high, or whether the person is traveling to Kolkata, whether the price is high. Now, considering that, you can see that, guys, there is a little bit more outliers when compared to Bangalore, but in all the other features, all the other places, it looks pretty much similar, right? Only some of the outliers are actually present in Bangalore. Okay. I hope everybody is clear with this, because this looks amazing, because there are a lot of feature engineering that has been done. They have handled each and every feature in a very better way. Yes, improvement can be there. You can add more improvements. It is up to you. Okay. I hope everybody is done till here. So this is basically my cat plot for my price along with the source. Okay. Now, as source is also a nominal category, we cannot say that, guys, Bangalore is better than Delhi, or Kolkata is better than Delhi, Mumbai is better than Chennai, or Chennai is better than Mumbai. Yes, right now in this pandemic situation, I'd suggest do not go to Delhi, Mumbai, or Chennai, or don't go to any other place. Just stay it in your hometown. Wherever you are, suppose you are from Mumbai, just stay it over there. If you are in Chennai, stay it over there. Okay. Delhi also has outliers. Yes, some amount of outliers is there. Okay. Then we will be using the same technique to actually convert the source column into dummy variables by using pd.get_dummies. So here I have actually used source drop_first is equal to true. So there is a question saying that Rahman Ansari says, can we use box plot instead of cat plot? Yes, you can also use box plot. Okay, no problem. Okay, perfect. So after we execute this, guys, first of all, I'm just going to execute this statement. I really want to execute this. So this is fine. Then I'll be executing this. Then I will be executing our this column. And here you'll be able to see that I have source Chennai, Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai. But remember, I don't have any column with respect to Chennai is there, Delhi is there, column. Bangalore is missing, I guess. Yes. So Bangalore has been dropped because Bangalore can be represented by this feature. Okay. Where all the values are actually zeros. Okay. Guys, you can add any number of features. In the data set, Hyderabad was not there. So it is not about states or columns or states, guys, or capital city. It's just about how you can implement some of the things. Okay. Okay. Now, once I have executed this, what I'm going to do is that again for the destination column also we need to do that. Okay. For the destination column also we need to do that. We did it for the source column, and for the destination column also we need to do that. Okay. So for the destination column, what we can do is that we can again check the value counts. The value counts is with respect to Cochin, Bangalore, Delhi, New Delhi. Hyderabad is there. You can see that destination Hyderabad is there, guys, over here. Okay. Then Kolkata. So now similarly do with respect to the destination and get the dummies over here. So here is your dummies with respect to all the features. Krish, why Bangalore is not added? I told you, right? Bangalore can be represented by this feature, this record, where all the values are 0, 0, 0, zeros, right? Yes, guys, please someone, if you think that the question is pretty much simple, please answer them. It will be helpful for them. And you can also be a teacher. So there everybody will wish you happy Guru Purnima. Okay. Okay. So we have done this, guys, till 102. Now this is a feature that we should actually look at. I think for this particular feature, let's see what happens as we go ahead. Okay. I think I'm doing a kind of commentary over here, right? Teach data science in the form of commentaries, commentaries, commentary. I don't require any Guru Dakshina, guys. It's just you support the channel, donate if you want. That is what is the Guru Dakshina that you can actually give me. Provide some super chat, something like that, and that will be very, very helpful. Okay, so in the next feature, basically is the route. Remember, guys, this route and the number of stops, the total stops, they are actually doing the same thing, right? They are actually doing the same thing. Through the routes, you will be able to know that how many stops are there. Suppose this route has 2 stops. So here the total stops value will be 2. So we should not actually consider like this. We should not actually consider this route column. So we can actually don't do anything. We can just drop it, or let's see what he has actually done as we have actually going ahead, right? So now here you can see that additional info contains almost 80% of no underscore info data. So in additional info, no underscore info value is present more than 80%. Okay, that is what he has basically explored. Route and total stops are related to each other. As I told you that this route and the total stops, this will be related to each other, right? Because here, if I consider this record, this basically indicates that the total stop is 1. Okay. So here, what we will do is that we will try to drop this. Okay, we'll try to drop this. So for dropping it, we are dropping the route and additional info, since 80% of the information has no info over there. So we are going to drop this to particular column. Now, if I drop this to particular column, if I go and see my train underscore data dot head, then this is basically my value. Okay, this is basically my values over here. Perfect. Can I get a quick yes if you have understood everything? Yeah. Guys, the beauty of this particular Kaggle problem is that there are so amazing features and there are so many ways to actually solve this particular problems, because you have all the kind of features over here. So I really wanted to take this project on a Sunday where we have enough time to discuss all these things, Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Now let's go to the next step, that is the total stops. In total stops is again a category feature. It is having values like 1 stop, non-stop, 1 stop, non-stop, 2 stops, 3 stop, 4 stops. Okay. 1 stop, non-stop, 2 stop, 3 stop, 4 stop. I think first should be non-stop, 1 stop, 2 stop, 3 stop, 4 stop. Okay. So this is basically having the total stops. Okay. Now total stops are actually this particular values. Okay. Now what we are going to do, first of all, if you want to convert this into one hot encoding or do something like this, what do you think this will be? Whether this will be a nominal encoding or ordinal encoding? Do you think, guys, if there is lot of stops, whether the total price will be increasing or decreasing? If there is non-stop, whether the total price will be decreasing or increasing? Just tell me that. What do you think? I really want this particular answer from you. More the total stops, less the price. More the total stops, less the price. I don't think so, guys. Just see this particular example. Okay. Let's see some of the examples over here. Where is my price? Guys, over here in our data set, non-stop value, the price value has 3897. But where it had 2 stops, the price was having 7662. Where it had 2 stops, the price is having 13882. Okay. For non-stop, it is actually decreasing, guys. For stops, it is increasing. Don't go with your assumption. Go with the assumption of the data, right? That is pretty much important. Now everybody is saying that non-stop will basically be having high price, but here it does not look like that. Based on the data over here, it says that whenever the stop increases, the price will actually increase. Right? Don't go with your assumption, guys. I know you have faced a lot of problems because of traveling here and there. And whenever you have got a non-stop place, probably because of that, the price have actually increased, right? Yes, it depends on the source and destination too. That is also true. But if I take an example of Delhi and Cochin, you can see Cochin is somewhere down towards the south, and they are actually taking 2 stops, because probably I don't think so there is an exact direct flight. Probably this particular flight goes to Bangalore first, and then it basically goes to Cochin. Okay, let's go ahead. And what we are doing is that this is basically an ordinal categories, guys. Based on the data, what we have done is that as the number of stop increases, we are going to assign label encoded with a higher value. So here what we have done is that we have replaced non-stop with 0, 1 stop with 1, okay, 2 stops with 2, 3 stops with 3, 4 stops with 4. And then I'm actually I've just used in place is equal to true. So I am basically replacing all these values with these particular values. Okay. जिंदगी में बहुत कुछ उल्टा होता है भाई, ठीक है. कब होता है? जब डेटा बोलता है. थैंक यू शिशु कुमार फॉर द सुपर चैट. ठीक है, जिंदगी में हर कोई सीधा नहीं होता है, कभी कभी उल्टा हो जाता है. ठीक है. सो यू ऑल्सो हैव टू सी द डेटा and please act according to the data. Don't act according to the wish. You will become a domain expert only if you know more about your data, if you know more about that particular information, that particular field, and that particular field is derived from data. Okay. Yes, amount of fuel consumed increases of increased number of stops. That will be okay. Perfect. Okay guys, everybody have understood till here? Can I get a like button, something like that, so that I came to know that, okay, you have understood things, and since many of you have actually wished from morning, so I think that yes, I have done something better today. My energy is high today because so many people have actually wished. Can I get a yes quickly? From next stream, man, call all your friends, whoever, because from next stream, tomorrow's stream will be about movie recommendation system. Okay, call all your friends. I really want this count to go more than 1,000 at a time. Let's study together. It'll be fun. Everything that you need, I'll explain you over here. Let's give this service to everyone. Okay? Okay, let's go ahead, guys. And now we have executed this. We have actually converted non-stop to 0, 1 stop to 1, 2 stops to 2, 3 stops to 3, 4 stops to 4. Okay. Then now we are going to see train data.head. And here you will be probably having one column. Where is that? Total stops, right? So total stops is basically having 0, 2, 2, 1 based on how many total stops are there. Okay, so okay, done. Now let's do again, guys. Tomorrow time will be 7:30 p.m. everyone, sharp 7:30 p.m. movie recommendation system we will be doing. And yes, 7:30 p.m. guys, unless and until I don't have any work, 7:30 p.m. I'll start. Okay. Now guys, what I'm going to do is that I'm basically going to concatenate all this information that I've got. Basically my destination.head, my source.head, whatever information I've got after doing one hot encoding like airline head, I'm basically going to combine all these features, whatever I have actually done doing one hot encoding, I'm going to combine it in my data set that is basically data train, right? So here I've taken train data, airline, source, destination, and then I have created a new feature or new variable over here which is called as data underscore train. So I have executed this, and if I go and see my data train underscore train head, then you can see all the features are here. Only some of the features, this one, airline, source or destination. What should we do for this? We should drop it. Okay, because now we have already converted all these particular features into integer values or into one hot encoded. Okay. Okay, So here I'm actually dropping it. So after dropping it, this is my head, and here after all the pre-processing and writing 113 lines of code, we have actually done all the pre-processing. This is how a life of a data scientist is very, very tough. So don't think that life of a data scientist is very, very easy, guys. You have to do a whole lot of things. Love to play with pandas, love to play with variables, love to play with the data. You know. चारुल पटकी सर मॉर्निंग सेशन नहीं होगा सर, हम भी काम करते हैं, ऑफिस का काम करना पड़ता है. ठीक है. Can I get a quick yes? Hit a like, something. Motivate me to explain more properly. Okay. I hope everybody is understood till here. Can I get a quick yes, guys? Till here. See, everybody saying yes sir, we are ready, we are ready. भाई बॉर्डर में नहीं जाना है, पढ़ाई करना है. ठीक है. Thank you, Suhas Nadiga. Thank you for the super chat. Okay. Now, finally, I'll go and see my data train.shape. And here is all my data sets that you can see. It is having 30 features, which is pretty much amazing, right? So I have all my data set features. Now, the next thing is that I will... देखो भाई, you could have told me, Krish, could we not combine train and test data together and do all the steps, initially only, right? You could have told me, right? You could have thought about that. But now we will be doing the same steps for test data. Why? Why? Guys, can anybody answer me why I am not combining the train and test data together? Yes, to solve Kaggle competition, you can combine train and test data. But in the real world scenario, what will happen if you combine train and test data and do all the pre-processing steps? Why should we do the pre-processing steps for train and test data separately? Tell me. I really want to hear the answer from you. I also made one video regarding this. I made one video regarding this in my channel. Manthan Patel, Vipul Singhal, very good answer, guys. Data leakage, right? Data leakage is the thing, because now when I'm creating my model, if I combine train and test data, my model will be knowing some of the information about the test data, right? So you are absolutely right, guys, who all are saying data leakage. Data leakage is a very major problem. It may lead to overfitting problem, guys. Right now, you may get wonderful result, and unknowingly, it may happen unknowingly. You will not be knowing, okay, whether the data is being shared or not. But yes, unknowingly, that thing will happen. And once that thing happens, trust me, it will be a nightmare. It had been a nightmare for me for one of the projects. And I have been taking care of that, guys. Right? So data leakage is a pretty critical thing, and everybody should take care of it. Everybody clear? Yes? Can I get a quick yes? Yes, yes, like this. Yes, yes. Right? Everybody clear? Okay, guys, let's go ahead and let's do the same steps for test data. And here I'm going to go a little bit quickly, guys. So for the test data, I'm reading it from the testset.xls. So this is my test data. Remember, only one column will not be present. Probably that will be my total column. a price column will not be present. The dependent feature will not be present here. Remaining all the features will be present over there. Now I am going to do the pre-processing steps. Everything will be the same, guys. All the steps have been repeated. Just it has been copy and pasted from the top of the code in the 43 cell column over here that you see in the cell 43. I am just going to execute this, and here you can see all the pre-processing steps again. And this is finally my data test.head. Okay. Fitting will only be done for the training data, guys. Lalit Sharma, then probably if PySpark session is at 8 p.m., we can start at 6:30, 6:45, somewhere around 6:45 p.m. we can start. Okay. So guys, again an announcement. Tomorrow 6:30 p.m. we will be having the live session. Okay. I can actually take it half an hour early, and then we can actually do it. But all the other days we will try to do it at 7:30. Okay. Okay, guys. So this is basically my dataset dot underscore test, and this is all on my information over here. Amazing. All the information are actually present. Then I'm going to go to my feature selection stage. Over here, feature selection is just done, guys. And remember, feature scaling is based on the type of algorithms that you are going to use. Okay. So it depends on the type of algorithm that you are going to use. Feature scaling, guys. Okay. Don't worry about the feature scaling right now, because we are going to probably use random forest over here, or you can use the XGBoost. Ensemble techniques work well for this kind of problem statement. Okay, feature selection, you can actually do it with the help of heat map, feature importance, select K best. So guys, all these things I've explained in my video. What he has actually done, he has combined all these things in an amazing way, and he has actually implemented this particular project, right? So he has basically considered all these things. So here you have trained it, data train.shape, then you have columns. I'm basically taking all the columns in this particular order. Okay, so all the columns that are actually present. And remember, here I don't have my price column. Okay, my dependent feature is not there. Right? So here you can see that over here we are just going to take all this particular feature, and then we are going to store it in my independent variable X. Remember, we don't have anything related to our dependent feature here. Okay, so here I'm going to execute it. It has got executed perfectly. Then here I'm going to take my dependent feature. So Y is basically having my dependent feature. Amazing, right? Amazing way of doing it. Then you will be able to see the correlation between independent and dependent features. You can do it, train underscore data dot correlation. You can actually use this, and this is how the correlation looks like. An amazing diagram. This is basically a heat map diagram. And here you can see that if it is towards the greener side, that basically means that it is highly correlated. If it is towards the red side, it is basically saying that negative correlated. Vishnupad Tripathi, thank you for the super chat. Your awesome benefits of membership, please explain. Vishnupad, for members, I've created a separate playlist of projects. There's somewhere around 20 to 30 videos, 40 to 50 videos in that particular playlist, which is called a live project playlist. You can go and check it out. Okay. So that will be available when you become a member. And this is just like to support me, guys. A lot of efforts is required. A lot of expenditure is required to do all this kind of recordings just for that. Anyhow, I will be uploading also many videos for you all. Okay. Now guys, coming to the important feature using extra tree regressor. Now what you can do is that here you can also write a condition saying that if two independent features are highly correlated, if two independent features are correlated somewhere around 80%, 90%, then what we can do is that we can drop one of the independent feature, because both those independent features are doing the same task. Right? So like that, we can actually write that particular code. Here we are going to use an extra tree regressor. In extra tree regressor, we are going to fit then this X and Y. Okay. This X and Y over here. So X and Y, if you fit it over here, you'll be able to see, you'll get to know which are the important features. Okay. Which are the important features. So here you are basically going to see all the important features in your data set. Right? So here you can see all the important features in your data set where total stops are playing the most important feature. Okay. Total stops are playing the most important feature. Then you have journey days, then you have airline jet airways, then you have duration of hours, then you have airline jet airways business, then you have January month, arrival month, like this. In this particular order, the feature importance is basically taken. Extra tree regressor basically helps you to find out the feature importance, guys. Okay, this was also uploaded in one of my videos. Okay, just to find out which feature are important for our output variable, that is price, which are highly correlated, which are important. Just to check, guys, as I said that just to check which are the important features, right? Can I get a quick yes if everybody is understood till here? Can I get a quick yes if everybody has understood till here? Kiran Menon, I will not guide members on how to work on the discrete project. I can just give you ideas. I can guide you with respect to ideas but not implement it. Because I really don't have time for that, you know. I have to take out time. If we don't remove two highly correlated independent feature, what will happen? You're just using duplicate features. You know what will happen with the duplicate features. It won't do anything good, you know. And remember, there is also something called as curse of dimensionality. So please always make sure that about that too. We should try to reduce features, not increase it, so that our model will be able to perform well. Okay, guys. Next step is basically about fitting model using random forest. And here I have actually done my train test split on my X and Y data set. And here you have done it. This is perfectly done. I hope everybody knows that we have applied random forest regressor over here. And we have actually fitted on our X train and Y train. And then we are actually predicting with respect to our Y pred data. And then finally we are finding the score. The training data score is somewhere around 0.95. This is basically our R squared score, R2 score. Okay. So here we are getting this. With respect to our test data, we are actually getting somewhere around 7.79, which is very, very much near to it. Can we use stratified split? Yes, we can use it. I am going to show you. We are going to do that in the hyperparameter tuning, right? Then we are actually plotting the Y test and Y pred results. You can see that it is forming a Gaussian distribution, which is pretty much good. That basically means our results are very, very good itself, right? Then finally, you can also use scatter plot to see the results. You can also use scatter plots to see the results. The scatter plots also looks like it is in increasing order. I should definitely apply for commentary, guys. I am like giving a commentary in some cricket match, right? So here for the test data, we are getting some wonderful results, right? Fine. Once we have done this, guys, we can also use metrics like mean absolute error, mean squared error, root mean squared error. Okay, so here you have metrics dot mean absolute error, mean squared error, where you are giving your Y test and Y pred, Y test and Y pred, and here you are getting all the values. Okay. Now, after this, guys, you can also check your R2 square by using metrics.R2 square, which is somewhere around 79% for your test data set. Now, this is the most important thing, that is the hyperparameter tuning, right? Now, can I get a quick yes if you have understood till here? Can I get a quick yes? Hit the like button को तोड़ दो और at least इतना symbol दिखा दो chat box में, पता चल जाए. Okay, perfect. Okay guys, now in the hyperparameter tuning technique guys, if you have attended my yesterday's session, day before yesterday's session, we are again going to use randomize search CV from sklearn.model, import randomize search CV. In the randomize search CV, I will first of all find out what all parameters are required inside random forest. Like this underscore estimator basically says about the decision trees. The maximum features is basically selected as auto or SQRT. Max depth you can actually give between 5 to 30. And there can be actually 6 numbers. You can also increase the numbers. Then you have minimum sample split. Then you have minimum sample leaf. Okay. So I have actually done this. AR Sanola says, Krish, what is the process to get membership for paid materials? Just go and click the join button, which you see beside the subscribe button. Right. Just go and click there. You'll be able to do it. So I'm just going to use this randomize search CV. I'm going to execute this. Here I have created my key value pairs with respect to my n underscore estimators, max feature, max depth, minimum sample split, and minimum samples leaf. Once we are able to do this, we get these values of random grid. And finally, we are actually using randomize search CV, where my estimator is given with our random forest, and parameter distribution is whatever random grid we have actually created. The scoring mechanism is basically being used as negative mean squared error. The number of iteration is basically 10. Cross validation is being used as 5. You can use different values too, guys. You can increase the n underscore iteration to 100. You can increase the cross validation to 10. Okay. And then you're using random state value, and you're using some n underscore jobs is equal to 1, so that you will be able to see how the training is actually happening. So in front of you, I am going to use it and execute it. So here it is. I've executed this information. My RF underscore random is ready, and I'm actually doing the fit on my X train and Y train data. And once it actually starts, it takes some time to actually start. And here we can see that we are able to start over here. Now this is amazing. See how the execution is happening, right? What all we get access to if we enroll with the first option for off enrollment, guys. 59 is for students. If you are a student, then only enroll for that. 299 plan is for professional people, and 799 if you need any special guidance from me. You'll be getting a different Telegram group where we can actually discuss about your problems, and I'll be guiding you with respect to your problem itself. But please note, if you want to join the members, you need to have knowledge of machine learning and deep learning, because I'll be implementing projects with respect to that. So you can see that cross validation is happening. Slowly it is getting executed. Right? Isn't it amazing? I think we have spent more than 1 hour, and I'm liking it. I did not get tired, you know. That basically means I like teaching. So if you feel that you can also teach for 10 hours, 20 hours, one day I'm going to plan for a 24-hour session. What do you say, guys? That is too much. Not 24 hours, at least morning to evening, 9 to 5 or 10 to 5, somewhere in the weekends. And then we'll try to solve 10 to 15 different projects. Probably we'll be taking a break in between of around 5 to 10 minutes and probably doing all those kind of things. Let's see how it goes ahead. Again, there I'll also call some of the data scientists who will also be explaining some of the other thing. It will be amazing when we will be collaborating in this particular way. Okay, I'm not high on coffee, guys. I'm just drinking warm water. Not 24 hours, guys. जोश में कभी बोल देता हूँ, होता नहीं है भाई ऐसा. जोश में होश नहीं खोना है. 8 to 10 hours is more than sufficient. With breaks, with lunch, with dinner. Okay, guys, the execution has happened. Probably it is taking little bit time. Let's see. Let the execution happen. And probably we'll plan for something like that. You know, the biggest probably. I don't think so anybody has done that kind of thing. I'll call somewhere around 5 to 6 people, and then we can collaborate and basically teach or do projects for 8 to 10 hours. It may be on weekends, guys. Saturday or Sunday. You decide the day, whether it will be Saturday or Sunday. Raj Shekhar, no, I don't know Telugu, but I usually see Telugu movies with subtitles. And I like Allu Arjun. I like Chiranjeevi son. Who is that guy? I like his acting. I've seen a lot of videos as such. Thank you, Venkatesh, for joining as a member. Keep on supporting, guys. You need to subscribe. Tell all your friends to subscribe. I need 200k within 10 days. That is my target. Ten to 4. Okay, 10 to 4 or 10 to 5. You just decide the day. Sunday, I think, will be fine. Okay, guys, let's see whether the execution has happened or not. Still, the execution is taking place. The execution is still taking place. Actress, I like Tamanna, I guess. Yes, Tamanna is cute. Okay, let's see till where the execution has happened. And finally, the batsman has reached the pavilion. You can see all this information over here. This is what is the best values that has got selected. Cross validation 5, all these particular values. It has been done. Now, if you want to really see the best parameters, then you basically have all these particular values, right? Rohit Kamra, yes, I do have a girlfriend. She's my fiance. I'm about to get married in November. Okay, so these are basically my best parameters. Okay, so best parameters are this. I'm going to use this best parameters, and now I'm able to predict from the X test. I've done the prediction, and this is basically my plot.show, and here you can see that this also looks like Gaussian distributed data. Okay, finally I'm doing this. I'm also predicting or plotting the scattered data. Then I'm going to see this all values, mean, absolute error, and all. You can import and pickle up this particular file, guys. The file pickled is there, which is called as flight_rf.pickle. You can do that. And if I really want to see this, okay, why prediction? Sorry. Okay, let me see. I'll go to execute this. No such file or directory. Why? Okay, I have to use RF, yes. And Y prediction, finally I'm getting somewhere out like this. Okay, oops, I think I have used another name, RF_random. I have to use RF_random. Come on Krish, how can you make such a silly mistake? RF_random I'm going to use. I'm going to again import this. And now this is my X test. And finally, you can see that there is an increase in the R square. Now it is somewhere around 0.81. Okay, guys. Now, after you create the pickle file, let's go and see our other file. So there is something called as templates folder, static folder. Templates folder has all your HTML. First of all, can I get a quick yes if you have all these things? Hemant Prakash, you are on 799 subscription. Please see my community post. There I have given my Telegram link specifically for members like you. Just go and check over there, Hemant. Okay, just go and see the Telegram link in the community post, in my YouTube channel community post. Okay, guys, have you done till here? Are you able to show the last code, please? So last code, you just have to dump with your new model, guys. That's it. What does 0.81 mean? This is basically our R square value. What error are you getting, Rahul Kumar? You should not get any error. Just execute line by line, guys. It will be same, Thank you, Yasoram, for joining Super Chat. Oh. Don't go for any course that is very costly, guys. Everything is available in my YouTube channel. Just follow that. Please teach Flask as well. Just go and see Corey Schaffer YouTube channel. There are a lot of videos on that. Can I get a quick yes if everybody has completed training your model? Thank you, Sinduri M, for joining as a member. Thank you guys for the support. Now let's go and see the app.py. Now this is a pretty interesting file, guys. Because in app.py, we need to first of all focus on how we are going to do the one-hot encoding, right? So here, based on that, he has actually done it in a very amazing way. So first of all, our dataset, our whole web app looks like this. Okay. How our web app actually looks like this. Then we select the departure date. Okay. Suppose I select it as 4th, 7th. Okay. Or I'll select like this. 4th, 7th, and this is basically my time. And then my arrival will be this, and time should be somewhere around like this. Oh, no, 4th, 5th, 4th, 5th. I'll give 5th. Okay. 5th. And this is selected. Source is from Delhi to, oh, Delhi is again coming over here. I think we should change this, guys. We should not have Delhi. Instead, we should have Bangalore. Okay. So Delhi to Delhi, don't do that. Okay. Delhi to Hyderabad, non-stop. Suppose I say non-stop. Okay. And which airways? I like Vistara. I'll go with Vistara and submit it. And finally, my price is somewhere around 5,000 rupees. 5,032. So this is an amazing price, and I think Delhi to that particular place or Hyderabad will take somewhere around 5,000 rupees. Now, if I go to my app.py, remember the first information is basically taking the departure time. Now, inside this departure time, he is basically taking the day and the month, journey day and journey month. Okay. And in departure hour, he is basically taking the hour and the minutes. Right. He's taking all those values. He's taking those values, right? Then what you have to do is that we have to basically get the arrival time also. Now we are getting the arrival time. The arrival time is with respect to hours and minutes. We are getting that values over here in these two variables. Then we are actually finding out the duration of the hours. Duration of the hour is nothing but arrival hour minus the departure hour. Right? We are actually getting it. Then in duration minutes, we are actually getting arrival minute minus the departure minute. Right? Then finally, we can see that we are getting how many number of stops are there. Right? Then this is pretty much important. If we are actually reading the airlines, okay, airline information, then we are saying that we are applying one-hot encoding over here. If the airline is Jet Airways, then we are going to use Jet Airways as 1 and remaining all features as 0. Right? If the airline is Indigo, we are going to use Indigo as 1, remaining all feature as 0. If we are using Air India as, if we are getting the output as if we are selecting Air India, then probably Air India will be 1 and remaining all output feature is 0. So like this, we are doing it for every feature as such. We are basically applying one-hot encoding, right? Then finally, we take the source. For source also, we are saying that if source is Delhi, then Delhi will be 1. Kolkata will be 0, 0, 0, like this, right? If the source is Kolkata, then the Kolkata value will be 1, remaining all value will be 0. Similarly, if it is Mumbai, then the S underscore Mumbai will be 1, remaining all the values will be 0. If it is Chennai, then finally S underscore Chennai will be 1, remaining all features will be 0. 0. Okay. Similarly, with respect to destination, okay, Vivian, how do we get requirement.txt file? Requirement.txt file is already given in the GitHub, I guess. Okay. Just go and download it. If you want to create it from scratch, please check my previous video. Okay. I request you to check my previous video. You just have to use a command. Let's see. This is the command. Just go to your folder, working folder, pip install, or I'll say pip freeze. pip freeze requirement.txt. Just use this command like this. You will be able to see it, how to create. Go to the working location, go and write this particular command. Your requirement.txt will be formed. Okay. Please guys, just explore it, Google it. These all are simple things. Come on, you can do it. Then we are actually doing for the source destination in the similar way. Okay. And then you have all the values over here, right? For the source also, you are actually doing one hot encoding. Then we go to the prediction model. So this is basically the prediction model where we give all these particular values. Once we get the prediction, then whatever output we get, we are basically rounding it out with 2 values after the decimal, and then we are basically sending the text. Your flight price is basically this particular value into my home.html. So this is basically my home.html, and here I am basically getting my output. So this work is basically done by Amar Mandal. Okay. I hope everybody has understood this, guys. Can I get a quick yes if everybody has understood? Yes, can I get a quick yes? How to create the UI form, guys? Don't worry about that. That is the work of the front end. You just need to know how to get values, and probably that will do. Okay guys, so yes, this was about this. I hope you like it. Okay guys, yes, please Rajya Lakshmi, please go and see the description of this particular video. Code is there, everything is there, dataset link is there, person credits is given, everything. You just go and ping the person. Okay, just go and check it out, guys. So if you liked it, please do hit this like button for this particular videos, guys. Tomorrow 7:30 p.m. not 7:30, sorry, 6:30 p.m. we will be doing movie recommendation system using machine learning. So I hope you liked it. If you feel that my explanation is good, if you really want to support the channel, the Google Pay number, Google Pay information is basically given in the description of this particular video, or join as a member. Try to support it. Make sure that you subscribe the channel, hit the like button. And then one more thing that you have to do is that, guys, go and see the bell icon. In the bell icon, just click on that so that you get the notification when I come live tomorrow, right? And yes, guys, I have also started a gaming channel. Go and subscribe that particular channel. The link is again given in the description. Okay. Attention and BERT is going to soon come, guys. And yes, try to ping Amar Mandal in LinkedIn and try to tell him thanks for this amazing end-to-end project. So this will be, he'll also feel very much motivated and he'll share more information. And guys, if you really want to share anything as such from your end, please do share it in krishnaik06@gmail.com. Guys, if you are facing module named flask_course is not there, just go and write pip install flask_course Rahul Kumar. Just write pip install flask_course, it will start working. I'm not going to make, you want to make, I'll try to make a video on Flask end to end, but if you really want to see it from scratch, go and see my Docker playlist. There, videos on Flask and Streamlit is already there. Rahul, just do pip install flask_course, it will work. Thank you, Monica. And guys, happy Guru Purnami for all. And yes, This was amazing. I'll keep on sharing knowledge. You also keep on sharing knowledge. So thank you, Rashid Badania. Thank you for the super chat. Amazing response from you all guys. From morning, I've got many messages. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting everything. Please make sure that you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share with all your friends. Guys, the next step will be sharing all your friends. And this video will be available as soon as the session is getting completed. Go and check my live stream playlist in my channel. Okay. And guys, I'm not able to see a lot of messages in LinkedIn and all because I'm pretty much busy in making this kind of sessions and all. So whatever questions you have, we will basically be discussing over here. And if I get time, I'll definitely be replying over there too. So thank you guys, an amazing session. Thank you all. Thank you for all the support. And yes, tomorrow 6:30 p.m. we will be seeing in the movie recommendation system where we'll be implementing completely from end to end. So thank you one and all. Have a great day ahead. Have a wonderful remaining night. Have a wonderful remaining Sunday. You have learned a lot today. So enjoy the remaining day. Thank you guys. Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you everyone. Stay safe. Happy Sunday.